Good morning all and welcome to week 3. Today I'm going to be taking you through what I eat in a day to fuel my performance in training, and we're going to be starting off this morning with a little pre-hiking snack. Yes, hiking, not running. I'll fill you guys in later. But I've got a couple go-tos at the moment for what I've been having before a pre-run or whatever type of movement I decide to do earlier in the morning, and those go-tos are some pikelets with some raspberry jam, just a couple pikelets. Brings me back to my childhood a little bit, and super tasty, exactly what you need just before a pre-run snack, not much more. And the other thing is an oat slice, not a full one because they actually are quite dense. They are about 440 calories, so just half of these will normally do the trick just perfectly. So my general rule of thumb when it comes to nutrition and morning training sessions is that if it's going to be quite a lengthy or difficult training session, I will always try to get, a little bit of food in beforehand. But if it's going to be under an hour, like an easy run or a high intensity interval training, I will just choose. If I feel like eating in the morning, I will, but if I don't, then I will just have my black coffee and water. So I'm going to go on a hike this morning, and I don't really feel like eating anything this morning. I know it's not going to be, a particularly strenuous activity in comparison to other training sessions I might do. For example, if I'm doing a push session in the morning or a very difficult run or a long run that goes, 2 hours plus, that would definitely require some food in the morning, even if it is one of those go-to snacks that I did just show you. For this morning, just gonna stick to the water, the black coffee, get the body moving, if you know what I mean, and yeah. Boy, have I got a pretty long way to go. If this is difficult and I want to do 100-mile ultras with ridiculous incline and decline, gotta love it though. If things aren't going my way, that's when I find it's easiest to slip into old ways and habits. That's when, for me, the urge to eat low quality food is at its highest, to binge watch YouTube is at its highest, and to oversleep is at its highest. And I know exactly, if I do all those things, how it's gonna make me feel. And it's awful. I'm not looking after myself, and therefore not looking after the people around me as well. I know I'm at my best when I'm running, eating really good food and living a goal-orientated and purpose-driven life. Just because I can't run right now doesn't mean I should self-sabotage. I've been down that road way too many times before, and that's how you spiral down and get yourself into a rut. So as I get older, I'm learning how to respond and not react to hardships and obstacles that get in my way. Because if you react too emotionally, that's when you fall back into those old habits and old ways. Whereas if you respond, you look for a solution. And right now, my solution is going on this hike, moving my body, doing whatever I can to keep this guy happy and this guy happy. I just went so far the wrong way, it's not funny. Orienteering skills from school, I've not held up apparently. Note to self, purchase some trail running shoes because we're slipping everywhere. Remember what I said earlier this morning about not having a pre-hike snack? Well, you take a couple wrong turns and ends up being almost a 3-hour hike. Probably should have had a bloody snack, or at least taken a snack. Before I start cooking meal one, let me just quickly say that this is what works for me after many years of trial and error. It might not work for you, but I've found what I believe to be quite a healthy balance, and that has been very difficult for me to find. So, take what you want from it. If you aren't feeling energized throughout the majority of the day, I personally can almost always put it back to food and what I've eaten. So if I'm eating, mainly whole foods, have little snacks here and there. That is personally how I stay on top of everything, is when I'm eating correctly, then everything kind of just falls into place. So normally what I have for breakfast is protein oats. So that is, 1.5 scoops of protein. We've got the oats themselves. We have some almond milk. I'm going to chop up some banana and put that in there, drizzle it with honey and maybe a little bit of cinnamon powder as well. And I forgot to mention 2 scoops of creatine as well. If any chefs are tuning in, let me just say welcome, but also I'm sorry. Presentation and meal number 1. It'll do. It's not too shabby. Personally, food for me is the biggest fuel source for my training. I always notice the difference in my performance and recovery when I fuel my body in a way that works best for me. This usually consists of whole foods, minimal processed sugar, not saying I never have a treat, and lots of fruit and veg. For lunch today I'm having salmon, rice and green beans. Honestly, I don't quite know how salmon is legal. I feel like it should be a drug, considering the ridiculous amounts of energy it gives me. Most people want supercars and super yachts. I just want to be rich enough to eat high quality salmon every damn day. This is a really easy meal to whip up, and I have an extra left over for lunch tomorrow. For dinner I've got chicken, rice, broccoli and pineapple. This one was recommended by Mr. Chris Bumstead, and I was a bit skeptical at first, but after tasting it all my doubts disappeared. The pineapple makes it nice and juicy, and there was no need to use any sauces, which I was actually pretty surprised by. That'll be my dinner for the next 4 nights. I've just about done every single diet known to man, from intermittent fasting to pescatarian. This means in the past I've been very restrictive, and I've come to learn that this is not always going to get me the results I'm after in terms of overall energy and mood. I know my food can seem a bit boring, but honestly, oh well. It keeps me energized and happy throughout the day, so what more could I ask for? I definitely feel that if I overcomplicate things, that's when it can be difficult to stick to. That's why I enjoy the simplicity of my diet. Also, it makes it that much more enjoyable when you end up going out for a meal. Alrighty, so I'm just finishing up editing and I realized I've forgotten to put my snacks in, which would be quite dishonest of me. So this is what I've been having recently. Normally an orange throughout the day, an apple and some peanut butter. I know I've got the whole jar right there, but I normally just have a tablespoon or 2. And Chobani or Yopro yogurt, whichever one's on special. Thank you for tuning in to week 3 of the Perth Half Marathon running series. I will see you guys next week for a special episode up on the Sunshine Coast. Hope you guys have a good week.